Welcome back, everyone. It is May 26, 2025, one day before the Legion DLC drops. Now, it's been about, I think, a good month since I have last updated everyone on what's going on. Eve. A lot of social changes, a lot of changes with this update. I didn't notice how many updates were going to be in here until how I saw people reacting on the forums. Now, notably, the DLC expansion pack, whatever, is mostly unnotable except for two or three aspects. One of them being a feature where for the projects you can essentially set up bounties. So if you're like Pandemic, you can say, well, Goon Swarm, you better give us a paladin or else. And then they say, or else what? And then all of a sudden, like, they put up like, I don't know, like, let's say 40 billion in their projects or 40 billion in their corp wallet. And then they're like, all right, every time you kill a gooner, you get like 30 million. or I mean they'll probably up the price, but like that's essentially the idea. Now I like the bounty system. I like the system. I personally believe that the system where, and it's still a little unclear, but the players are acting a little irrational where they're talking about how, this new system, this new enlistment system. I don't know actually what this system is actually called. I know that it's called I can't I can't remember his name. I'm not being mean. It's just I can't remember his name. Estarathi, I think. He went on like a 6-hour stream, and I was listening to it in the background. And he was, I wouldn't say having a hard time, like just telling me what the expansion, like what this enlistment program is, but it's really hard to discern. So from what I understand in the wiki page or whatever, basically says alliances can now enlist single member corporations, either single member corporations or alliances. If that's true, that's honestly ridiculous, because then we can have an alliance on the alliance on the alliance, and this inception on the inception on the inception. But I think the thing is, they said if you kill more than 200 enlistment members within like a 6-month period, you're banned from the service for a year. I really like that, mostly because there's not a lot of how do you say, handlebars, restrictions, soft caps with the game, where there could be catastrophic things that happen to the game when people make updates or changes or slight changes to the game. However minor, they do affect the entire ecosystem of EVE Online. Whether you're in a corporation with like 2 people, or a corporation of like 200 or 2,000, it really doesn't matter. You're all affected by these small minor changes, and I think with this new update, there might be a lot of things that are shaken up. I've seen a lot of people go into fights specifically into the Pure Blind region, but that's probably common knowledge. Stupid Crollo. Everyone already knows everyone's in the Pure Blind, except for you. Me, I'm just, I'm hoping to look forward to more industry jobs through this new expansion. I mean, obviously there's the 2 new ships, but always there's the opportunity that they'll change things up, that they'll change things from, oh, you know what, resonators, they didn't work out. Everyone's going to go back to SR triggers. Well, then ubiquitous moon mining is going to be quite profitable. Currently, as it states, the moon mining expeditions are quite low probably make next to no money. I was telling members of a mining organization in Galante Space that a few years ago I was selling one of the moon goos, let's say silicones, for about 2,000 per unit a few years ago. And when I went to the market, I think the other day, it was selling for 500. And I was like, this is a ridiculous like price decrease, and it all has to do with the SR trigger, the trigger markets for faction chips changing. That ruined a lot of economies. I mean, sure, the developers, game masters, whatever you want to call them, probably got their statistics like, yeah, more people are running missions or running like faction warfare to get loyalty points to purchase resonators. But for moon mining and moon goo, not profitable. So me and a lot of industrialists, I mean, it's not a lot, probably just a couple alliances or whatever, that would really love to see that change. But other than that, I mean, I know everyone's fighting in so there's people are still fighting in Nullsec for sovereignty and hub changes. I don't know what to tell you. I hope all the power, because I know the major point of contention was not enough power in each hub to basically direct or even, like, for example, say say you're Pandemic and you have like all of Ethereum reach, and out of the Ethereum reach there's like 25 systems. Out of the 25 systems, 20 of them are bad, 20 of them suck and don't make money. Well, with that logic, well, you're probably only going to focus on the 5. But then again, Ethereum reach is kind of like a main ARN system, because like it's a semi-populated area. Just like in general, that region is semi-populated just because. So there's always someone active in that region, and I think I've made a few videos talking about how it's very common knowledge that for example, if you go into the redfrog.com, the Red Frog corporation that does deliveries in Nullsec, one of their destinations is the F9 Keepstar in Ethereum reach. So there is that. So that's probably never going to change until, I don't know, some big huge conglomerate comes out from the south. But like, that's a big huge conglomerate coming from the south to take the West Bank. I'm sorry, the East Bank. That's literally unheard of, because like the whole south, to east, all that has like independent people. So from like the Wildlands to the Red Menace, all independents. So you would have to essentially like round table all those independents to then secure the Ethereum reach. And I mean, I might be wrong, I might be stupid, I might, there might be an easier way, but until that happens, like, I don't think that eastern flank is going to, like, essentially, there's no way anyone's gonna lose that. Like, that's such a stronghold. But anyways, this expansion, don't go crazy for it. Yes, they've promised corporation colors, but they've promised corporation colors 5 years ago. You could look at the Pulse video on their YouTube where they're talking about now introducing structure upwell customation colors. That was 5 years ago. Jeez, that's like, how much patience does everyone really have? But anyways, that's EVE Online. That's all I gotta say. Have a good one.